Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host, and we're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN-TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. And if you take a look to my right and to your left, of course, is the lovely Julia Perciasepe. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, and you can join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290, and that is how you get to us here. What's going on? How has your artful life been?
It's good. I feel like I've had a lot of family time, but we went to the MFA this past weekend and saw the Samba Spirit Brazil exhibit. It was, you know, I love the MFA, and I think they do wonderful curation, and the exhibits are wonderful, but I gotta say I was a little disappointed with this one.
Really?
So I'm gonna give it a B+.
Where did they have it? Did they have it down under the restaurant down there?
It wasn't big enough for that. Yeah. It was very small. I walked in and I was like, where is the exhibit? So I was expecting a lot more, but they had some good pieces, but yeah. Okay. It's interesting because, you know, the curator wrote you know, a little wall piece about how they're exploring Latin American art and all this, but I mean, there's a robust, you know, art scene in Latin America, so I don't know.
Oh, it's huge, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was about.
How would you say it wasn't big enough? Well,
there were maybe 10 pieces, and it was in a small, you know.
Where in the museum was it?
It was on the second floor.
Yeah.
In the new America's Wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a small. That can be tiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a couple of buildings I know pretty well.
Yeah.
I can get lost in there. I can get lost and found in there. I love the museum. I mean, we've been members for a long time, and I'm constantly taking small groups of kids over there just to run around and get lost. Yeah. But I went to the Paradise Cafe in Dedham to hear the great band Zen Armada. They were playing. Nice. Yeah, a good friend of mine, Andy Hollinger, is the guitarist. John Norris is on drums.
What kind of music is that?
It's all original music, you know, but it has like a morphine type of hook to it. No, not the drug, but the band. Okay. The band. Yep. But they were very, it was entertaining. Super producer Janice and I went and had dinner. Nice. They filled the room up, which was really nice. Plus, there were lots of friends there. So that always makes for nice. And it's right in Dedham, so it's easy for us old folks to get there, you know.
I've never been to the one in Dedham.
It's nice. It's not like the Paradise on Calm Ave. Yeah. The Paradise on Calm Ave is a rock.
Different demographic.
Yeah, different demographic. This is a coffee house-ish. I've played there several times, and it's nice and intimate, fireplace. Yeah. You know, you're playing in the window. Yeah. So it's kind of nice. But they're starting to, our good buddy Ray, who runs the music scene up there, is changing it a little bit to where he's bringing in more rocker bands. And I think it's paying off for them because they're kind of filling up the place. Nice. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah. And then, of course, last night we went to the Super Bowl.
You went to it.
Well, Frank and Judy's, they're good friends. Frank and Judy host the Super Bowl party every year. So, and this year the theme was gumbo. Yum. So everyone had to bring kind of something that associated to gumbo.
What do you think of the halftime show?
You know, I like Bruno Mars a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that he showed himself to be as big a star as anybody else.
I liked it.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers I could have done without.
Me too.
I could have done without them coming out, without their clothes on. And I know that's their thing and all that, but...
Yeah, my friends and I were like, aren't they, they can put a shirt on now.
They've gotten our attention years ago.
They can wear clothes now.
It's just, I just didn't think that they, and I know what happened. I think that someone in the room making decisions said, I don't know about Bruno Mars. You know, we've already committed him. We got to bring somebody else in, and they didn't have to.
No, they didn't have to.
They didn't have to do that. So. No. But it was fun. It was great. I thought the national anthem was great. Yeah. Renee Wilkins, the opera singer.
Yeah, I know.
She sang. It was really fabulous. And and then the game started. I was the only Denver fan.
Really?
In the room.
Well.
But it's over now, thank God.
Yeah, it's over now.
I can't wait till spring training. So what's going on elsewise in your land? News. You met with Curtis Henderson last week.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, on air, he was very impressed. He likes you
Nice.
very much. Yeah, the general manager of the station came into the studio. He doesn't do that, and introduced himself to you.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, he's really interested in the partnership. So
cool.
I think it's going to work.
Yeah.
And get some film cats in here. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been talking to some filmmakers, and we're trying to just kind of pump up the local, because we're a worldwide organization. We're trying to tap into the local scene a little bit more, and we're going to do some more screenings at Emerson.
Right.
We're talking to, have you heard of the North Bennett School?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been on several times.
Okay, so we're talking to them about doing a craft series with them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we're just,
mention Janice and I to them because we're big fans of this.
Yeah,
they've been on our show several times a year for quite a long time now.
Yeah.
And we missed connections. Something went wrong last night. Someone had the wrong date or something, whatever. But nothing major, But we love them.
Yeah, they're great.
Making instruments. I mean, these kids are making their own instruments.
Yeah, it's so cool. And it's not just instruments. There's all kinds of things happening there. I mean, Danny and I were looking at there's a workshop on the 8th and 9th to make your own wedding rings.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do it, but
I think you should.
I don't. If it doesn't turn out right, I'll be kind of disappointed.
How are the plans coming? How are the plans?
They're good.
We're gonna plan this thing on air.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Please no.
No, we're not. But we're all very excited for you. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
One of the things that Twitter has done is that because every time by the way, you can tweet us.
Tweet.
If you'd like. At It's All About Arts is our address, and you can send us a tweet if you have a question or if you have a comment you want to be involved in the program in any way. You can do it that way. Also, we have a YouTube page where this show, people have asked me all along, where can I see that show that I missed a couple of weeks ago and da-da-da. The only place to go and do that now is on YouTube, and the address there they are. Thank you very much. YouTube, It's All About Arts, the #1, and we have lots of old shows on there, and we put shows up all the time, so that's the place to go to dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I also want to take a second to you know what? We're not going to use we're not going to send you off to your set tonight.
Yep.
Why don't we just what did you bring? What's some of the things we can talk about?
Julia's World right here at the desk. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm going to be going to, you've probably seen on, I think there's some bus ads for it, a new musical out of the Loeb Drama Arts Center in Harvard Square called Witness Uganda. It's kind of a different musical than what you think of, but it looks really interesting. It's about a young man who goes to volunteer in Uganda, and it's about kind of the American aid experience and the kind of issues around that, and it's a musical, so I'm going to be going to that. No, you're not into that?
No, it's not that I'm not into that. No, I'm just trying to put the hook here.
Yeah, it's...
Is it a serious political...
I'm not sure. I think it's kind of...
Government?
I think it's just kind of a little look into kind of this experience that a lot of people have. And I think with the, younger generations and they want to change the world, I think this kind of shows some of the kind of complexities around that, and maybe,
Right. I would love to know more, because, whenever I think of it, I think of that there's strife with it, there's problems going on politically.
Yeah. When you think of Uganda, or when you think of,
Not when I think of musicals. Musicals. Don't give me that.
No, Uganda has a lot of issues, but, there are Americans going all over the world trying to change the world, and so it's, sometimes you need to know what's actually going on.
You need the truth.
You need the truth. Not that I haven't seen the musical yet, so I'm not quite
Now, what's the deadline? Are you going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to get tickets. It's running February 4th through March 17th, and that's in Harvard Square. So, it looks really interesting, different than, a lot of stuff that's playing. So there's that.
Yes.
And then Boston Poetry Slam. Have you ever been?
I know all about the Boston Poetry Slam.
Wednesday nights at Cantab.
The Cantab upstairs.
Yeah, so they've got a bunch of stuff coming up.
Central Square.
Yeah, so they've got some cool events happening in February. It's February already. Pretty crazy. So the website for them is bostonpoetryslam.com. Go check it out.
Are they still asking for poets?
I didn't see. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I didn't see any kind of large call for.
Cantab is kind of like the hub of where a lot of the spoken word is being done. But there's other places all over. The West Roxbury Poetry Club is unbelievable.
Really?
They do some amazing things, where it's and a slam is kind of a competition per se. Where poets get up there, and it's more of a performance piece. A good friend of ours, Johnny Reimer, who's been on the show. Johnny Reimer is his nom de plume, which is kind of cool. But he's an amazing poet. He gets involved in all of that. And Brother Blue, who we lost a year or two ago, was kind of like the guy running the whole thing. The poet's poet, as he should be, and as he is missed, I'm sure, at these slams. Well, that's cool. When does it start again?
So it's Wednesday nights. And then there's
just for the month
events.
of February is when the slams are, right? Or is it every Wednesday?
No, I think it's every Wednesday. There's just some special events happening in February. Have you ever done slam poetry?
Have I ever gone? I did some spoken word when I was younger and stuff, yeah. But Mary had a little lamb. I was out of my league when it came time to listen to some of these cats getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went back to the love songs, where I belonged. And
last week I talked about how I want to kind of spotlight different things that are happening in Boston having to do with art and the environment.
Yes.
And so there's been an exhibit at the Boston Children's Museum. So if you have little kitties, it's ending, I believe, February 9th. So you kind of only have a week left to go. It's called Art in Recycling. The artist, Faye Chandler, it's a bunch of sculptures made out of recycled materials.
I love that stuff.
I do too. I think it's great, and it's a good way to teach your kids, to see kind of trash in a different way. I mean, you
friend
can
of ours, Casey Appleman. Look Casey Appleman up, because she does found objects and stuff. And she makes unbelievable things out of, Because as do you.
Yeah, I really enjoy taking things that they don't want to use them anymore, and making it into something nice.
I think I fall short of going around on trash day, but
yeah, there are some people who take it
quite
to the extreme,
seriously.
But yeah, if I find something cool, I'll pick it up.
Julia's World.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing all of that.
Lots of things happening.
No, we're never short of things to talk about as far as arts. But one of the things I like to talk about is people that keep us on the air here. I'm very, very proud of our affiliation and partnership with the Boston Main Streets program. Boston Main Streets is a volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize the business districts around the city. What they do is they work with the property owner who has an empty storefront and get the right kind of business down there that the community is looking for, that they need. Then once the business is in there, they work closely with the people that are opening this new venture in their lives. More than often, it's a mom and pop, first time, store. People just starting out, don't know how to get through this and that and the other thing. Main Streets are the people that help them do that. And then the promotions committees gets together and puts on events in the business districts so people can come down and see what's happening new in their neighborhood. So we really appreciate everything that they do. So if you see a Main Street event going on, thank them for us. Please go say that Glenn and Julia really appreciate the work that they do. And the only reason they do it is because they love their community. They're all volunteers. It's an amazing organization. So thanks to them. The other thing I like to talk about is this amazing building that we're in, BNN-TV. It's Boston Access, cable access, and it's not here for just me, it's not here for just Julia, it's also here for you. You can come in here and do programming. You can come in and become a member where you get to take Final Cut Pro classes, learn how to use these amazing cameras, do sound, do lighting, do how to do shoots outside, how to use the truck. Come back into an incredible Timothy Smith lab downstairs, full of all the state-of-the-art Mac and software, and edit and produce your own show, and they'll put it on the air here for you. The other side of BNN is the nonprofit news and information, where if you have a nonprofit, let's say you have a group of people that have gotten together and you're a nonprofit organization and you want to talk about your mission statement, this is the place to do it. You come on here and invite your city councilor in to talk about what your mission is and bring your guests in to make sure that the city of Boston and now beyond are familiar with the kind of things that you're interested in getting to improve our environment. So we want to thank them very much as well. And I've already mentioned you can go to YouTube tomorrow, this time of the day, and get our program. And also, if you go to www.bnntv.org and click on what's playing right now, we will come up on we'll be there. We are streaming live all over the world, which is great because, and I know it works because I'm constantly getting emails from people around areas that we don't reach cable-wise, that we do only get there through the internet. So thank you everybody for participating in the show. We're 16 years in and we're loving it here, and the people here at BNN treat us really good. So we thank them for all of the things that they do for us. Right?
Yeah.
That's great. So, you know, we have a great show. I think we're going to get to it and get moving.
Let's do it.
Will you join us, or are you going to come back up at
I'll
the
come
end?
back
You come
at the
back
end,
up at the end? Listen, gang, you are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. Don't go away because this show is just getting started. We're here for quite a long time. We have two great guests going to talk about art. Listen, gang, don't go away. We're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN. You can join us if you want. We're at 617-708-3290. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, gang. Don't go away. Thank you.
There comes a time when everybody needs to be with someone. Well, now's the time when I have realized you're that someone. How could I have been so blind when you have been there all this
name is Glenn Williams. You're watching It's All About Arts, BNN-TV's It's All About Arts. We're coming to you live from Studio B, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Hillary and the great staff of BNN are in the other room answering phones, so if you'd like to join us and just tell us what's going on artfully in your community, please feel free to do so. And right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome back Tally Forbes. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well.
Welcome back to the studio. How's everything? You came out in this horrible weather and everything.
Crazy woman that I am.
Well, I wasn't worried about you getting here. I was more concerned about myself and the staff making it through this blizzard we're dealing with. Thank you so much for coming. How are you doing? How's everything?
Things are good, thanks.
That's good. How's the art business treating you?
The art business is treating me well.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm so happy.
It just keeps sort of ticking along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to create from the soul and then let other people.
Yeah, give a chance for people to have a look at it.
Yeah. I'm going to give you that obligatory first question I like to ask our visual artists all the time. Did you watch the football game last night? No, I'm sorry. That's not the one.
That could be trouble.
If you were opening a website or something, and on that website there's got to be a pull-down menu of what kind of an artist, what kind of art it is that you're doing, and you had to pick one, I'll give you two. What would you use?
Well, it's a little tricky because I'm not a realist, but if you look at my paintings, you can see real things if you look for them. So I'm not an abstract painter, but I like to play around with the image I'm seeing. I do a lot of my work from my iPhone, and I combine images and so on to make a composition I like.
Right. Are you using any of the imaging altering software that people have out there?
No, because my brush takes over. So
that's good. Okay.
Yeah. So
no, that's not. I'm not saying that's good. I'm saying good.
That's just the way I like to do it. So I use the iPhone just to capture things I like the looks of, and then I frequently put 5 or 6 different images that I've taken pictures of. And
isn't the iPhone an amazing tool?
It's an amazing tool.
What did we do without them?
I have no
20
idea.
years ago.
I have
How did
no
we pull
idea.
this off?
Yeah, it's
Polaroids.
It's just great.
Do you find well, because you have your phone with you all the time, you have instant capture right then and there, so you'll be able to find these images. How often do you pull it out? A day or so?
Well, to take pictures, probably when I'm around here, not a whole lot.
Right.
Well, that's not fair. Probably 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, I would think so,
I see something in the newspaper, I like something's going on there. And who knows, just when I'm moving around about town.
Yeah.
But I've been traveling a lot, and I use it constantly when I travel.
Have you been traveling out of the state?
Yeah, I was in Italy
out of
6 months ago. Yeah.
How beautiful is that?
Yeah, you can't beat the.
I want to take Janice on a European thing, and I really should. Yeah.
Oh, you love it.
I bet.
Yeah.
Just for the art.
Yeah.
And sorry, that's
That's okay.
my thing talking to me. We got a tweet.
A tweet. How exciting.
Very exciting. Wait, that scared me. What's that noise?
I wondered what you're doing there.
So Italy, how long were you there?
I was there for 2 weeks. Plenty of time to really digest the place.
That's good.
I was in Rome and then up to Siena area and in Venice. And well, I don't know if we'll get to, I've got one image from Venice, but we may not get to it. It's a little far along in the process.
That's okay.
Yeah.
When you do get the images, do you, in your mind's eye, say to yourself, well, that image I know is going to go for that one I took before?
Yeah.
Or is the production of the pieces something that is a life unto itself?
Well, the way it works for me, I try when I travel to sketch every day.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, just a 20-minute sketch is what I'm going to do. And then when I come home, it may be 6 months or a year before that actually turns into a painting. They don't all turn into a painting.
Right.
Sometimes I put 2 or 3 together.
Right.
So I'm not thinking the whole time about this is something I'm going to do a painting of. It's just like, oh, I love that alley, or wow, look at that
door or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just grab that.
How long is your process once you get started? I mean,
I'm doing a painting?
Yeah, canvas is up, and time to go.
Well, I mean, I never finish anything in the first shot, so I paint fast, so I'll probably paint for a couple of hours, but I'm nowhere near done.
No, yeah.
I have to kind of look at it. My studio's in my house, so I wander in and out of the studio and say, oh, look at that thing. I got to fix that. I mean, my studio used to be my dining room.
Yeah, of course. Our galleries used to be our dining room.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, you know, I just, I find, you know, after a while, the painting's speaking to me, and I'm speaking to it.
Yeah.
So what do you need?
Right.
And once in a while, I get to a point where I say, I'm sorry, but I can't do anything more with you. I'm going to put the back to the wall. I don't want to look at you for a while.
Right.
6 months later, oh, now I know what to do.
One of the great questions, one of the great debates I have with my kids is, when do you know you're done?
Very good question.
Yeah.
I'm not always sure.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I've just opened up a small show, and I put a painting in there that I'm not sure it's done. We'll see.
They have they have a life they have to go.
Yeah.
Can you work on several pieces at a time?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like to do that.
Yeah.
Because they sort of inform each other also. Sometimes I go down a track and I'm not too happy with one.
Yeah.
It's nice to have another one going at the same time,
yeah.
so I can flip back and forth.
Do you ever find that Peter will help Paul?
Yeah, I guess I do. I guess I do.
I mean, you got the pieces going and you have them up
Yeah.
and you say, that belongs there.
Yes. Yeah. That could.
Well, that sounds like fun.
It is. It's really a process for me.
How big are your pieces? What sizes are we
A lot of them are sort of sew by sew, so that we're talking here.
Yeah,
3
24
feet
by
4.
36,
Yeah, something like that. But I've done a lot of small ones as well. And so
And what's your medium?
watercolor, India ink, and acrylic.
Excellent. Let's take a look at some.
Okay,
I
great.
think that's going to... And we're going to go through a process. You said that the first couple we're going to see are actually kind of like a... well, you describe what we're
one
looking
leads into another. So I love to draw. I love to sketch. So this is a perfect example. This piece was probably about 6 different little sketches. The guy on the piano, the guys playing, I think they're trombones or trumpets. And I put it together, and then I thought, oh, there's something wrong here, because there was a big hole. See the square in the center, kind of? I said, I got to do something about that. So I put all those people watching. And then I noticed that I thought, oh, maybe I could have some dogs in there, too. So this is, I call this Jazz in the Park.
Okay.
It just so happens the dogs are gone from that one now. I cut the dogs out, so I could put them in and out like a collage.
Okay.
So that led to, if you want to switch to the next one, I don't know if that works, but there we go. So that's more or less the same image, but now I've added some color.
Yeah.
And I was really bothered by that centerpiece.
Yeah.
So I put the brightest color there, hoping to distract from the square part.
Right.
And but the people are still down there in the bottom, and then it seemed to me like that guitar player in the center needed to have some brighter color.
He looks great.
So I was still, you know, only partly happy with it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd try some more. So if you can flick to the next one. So now this is acrylic, and instead of those people watching, now I've got a quartet.
And choir singing. Sure.
Yeah. And
well, they were warming up for the
they were warming up, yeah. And they were from a whole different iPhone image I took, you know, and I thought, okay, great. Got a little bright. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it all, but I just got going on instruments. Instruments are fun. So if you can flip to the next one, now I've gone to the symphony.
Yeah.
Okay, Boston Symphony. I had this feeling that the symphony was drawing me in. I started by doing images of people with individual instruments.
Yeah.
And then I went to a trio, which is the next one, if that happens to come up. Here you go. And I was kind of intrigued with that. It just one thing was sort of leading to another. And then the next two are the whole symphony. Here we have, you know, the big timpani in the background. That's probably what really caught my eye first. And then when I look at the symphony, I just see tons of people. But now you got to have the conductor.
Arthur's got to get in there.
That's right. So there he is. So, you know, there was this progression from single instruments, jazz, people singing, and then onward.
Let me ask you this. Is it a new beginning every time, or are you... Here, what do we have here? This is cool.
Oh, okay. So then this is kind of, all right, now I seem to have this idea of India ink and watercolor and what you can do in terms of motion. So then there was an image in the paper of a riot somewhere. I can't remember what it is, but that led me to try the same idea of, if you think about, because you play music, you know how music, you've got kind of the line which is jittering around, and then you've got drums and you've got other things sort of stabilizing it. So that the music theme left the instruments now, and it's more like what's happening on the canvas. And I think there's one more there. Okay, so
Suffolk Downs.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking, I call this Thundering Herd.
That's really good.
And this is the piece that I was telling you about. I put it in a show, even though I'm not sure it's done.
Right.
So we'll see. But I got mostly done, and then I had to put it back to the wall. I just wasn't sure.
That's
so
beautiful.
That's the way I work.
That's fun. I know that you've got to go. You've got a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you showing?
It's in a gallery where I do all my framing. It's called Frameworks.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's a franchise, but it's the one out in Burlington.
Okay.
On Route 3.
Well, I'm not going to hold you too long, but let me ask you this. When you're working in a progression like that, are you doing the bare bones part and loving that and doing the bare bones again and adding, or are you adding to that original piece and it's growing that way?
Sometimes, like that jazz thing, it was 3 versions of the same.
Okay, so there's still that original version.
That sometimes happens, and sometimes I just flip
away
to something else.
Yeah. I like that's the Monet way of doing things.
Exactly.
Where he, you know, the lilies would change.
Right.
You know,
and then I find at a certain point, okay, I'm done with that. You know, it builds to a climax, and then I'm on to something else.
Tally, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's good to see you again. And
yes.
Don't be a stranger. Let's not make it 5 years.
Okay, it's a deal.
Let's have you back
Excellent.
again.
Thank you very much, Glenn.
Listen, gang, don't jump up yet.
Okay.
Listen, thank you very much. Listen, gang, we're only halfway there, only halfway home. Listen, gang, we'll be back in just one more minute. We've got another phenomenal artist to join us. Do not go away, gang. We'll be right back. This is Glenn coming to you live from Studio B at BNN-TV. We'll be back in just a minute. Thanks.
See you standing over there, just the other afternoon, hidden by shadows, waiting for a man, hidden from the sun. For a man that never comes, like a race that's never run. As the road widens, and it almost always will, you look upon this day. The outlook will broaden as you find it wasn't you, growing from a place with a bright and happy face.
Thanks for hanging in there with us, gang, and welcome back to BNN-TV's It's All About Arts. We're coming to you live from Studio B, and if you'd like to join us, you can. We're at 617-708-3290. The great Hillary is in the other room answering the phones with the great staff of BNN. And if you want to see this show again, we will be on YouTube this time tomorrow at It's All About Arts 1. And if you want to send us a tweet, you can do that. We are at It's All About Arts is the address, at It's All About Arts on Twitter. And we are also streaming live right now from www.bnntv.org. Hello, Jim in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Jim is a new cat that just joined our Twitter, and we are so happy to have you on board. Thanks for being there, Jim. We appreciate you being out there. But right now, it is my great pleasure and honor to be introducing you to Doug Caves. Hello, Doug. Welcome to the studio.
Hi, Glenn. Thanks
Welcome
for having
to the show.
me.
Thank you so much for being here with us. You are an artist. Are you in the Boston area?
I actually live in North Central Mass, Fitchburg.
Oh, Fitchburg?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's great town, great college town. It really is. Fitchburg State is great. I'm going to start with that obligatory question that I like to ask artists. If there was that drop-down menu on a website that you're going to start, you had to kind of label yourself, had to put a kind of artist, besides great, of course. But if you had to put a topic to it, what would it be?
I think that it would be landscape painter at this point. I just really started painting again.
Really?
Maybe about 7 months ago.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it just it had to be landscapes. I would look at art, and it was always the landscapes that were grabbing me in the last few years. And
do you work on site? Do you do plein air painting? Will you go out and paint?
I haven't been
in the Arboretum.
In the past, I have, but my wife bought me a camera over the holidays a year ago, and because I needed one. I had a little small camera, so I've been using this digital camera, and I was taking a lot of landscape photos, and just. Geez, I thought, this is great. And my brother said, hey, you're doing photography now instead of painting. And I thought, wow, how come I'm not painting again? So I just went out and equipped myself up with acrylics this time, and I've just been going at it. So I'm really just trying to hone my craft, get good at what I'm doing. And so landscape is where my heart is.
Are you working on canvas?
I am. I'm doing stretch canvases, and I'm, working.
What were you doing before?
Well, years ago I was studying. I was at Mount Wachusett Community College as a young guy, and I studied with Gene Cawthon, who he has some of the angels out here in the Cambridge parks and whatnot. But so we did sculpture and drawing and painting. So we did a lot of abstract kind of flow paintings, and I was working with that quite a bit. And then, I think I started house painting when I was on a summer break, and then the next thing I know, I was married, I had a kid and a job, and I would be painting, in between, but not really consistently. So now I'm just
You're getting back.
It
never leaves you, by the way. It's not like you just took a break.
Well, I thought I was learning my stuff. I thought I've always was just too naive about the world, and I wanted to have a mature approach to painting. My heroes were Monet, young Rembrandt, and then Edward Hopper, and then even guys like Motherwell and Frankenthal, and that whole painterly kind of thing. I didn't know how to get it, to make it real, and I know it's working for me now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have a dedicated space to work in?
I do. And I have a whole room.
A studio that you get.
Getting cluttered up with paintings.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, take a picture of that.
I guess I should, yeah.
I mean, because it's nice to be able to have a dedicated space where you've got a couple of pieces on easels, and my Janice has to fold out every time. She has a space, but she likes working at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
It just makes her comfortable there. But it's nice to have that room where she still has that room where you walk in and everything's the way you left it. Yeah. And when you're working, when you're painting, if you're working at a landscape type of thing, do you use an atmospheric thing? Is there is 9-inch nails on the stereo or no? I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think it speaks a lot about what it's all about for me. So I like to listen to the kind of Celtic music going on.
Okay. Yeah.
Bob Dylan sometimes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what era, you know. So I have a little bit of that going on, but some kind of thoughtful, quiet, moody music.
Yeah.
And I like to have lots of light in, and it's, you know, you have several works going at the same time, and I just want to capture that feeling, that kind of magic feeling that you get when you're outdoors and you come upon a, you know, a view, and you're just like, you know.
The way you're describing it, it's an emotional thing for you.
Yeah, it's emotional, spiritual.
Yeah. So when you come back to a piece, do you try and do you need the same day, part of the day? Do you need the same?
Yeah, I think
early.
I think I was not going to let myself be indulgent about that, and so I approach. I work in the daytime. When I get home at work, I just get up in the studio and say, I'm gonna work. Yeah. Bill Gruder's a painting teacher, says you gotta set the stage every day. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to follow that discipline.
So it is something you can be disciplined about.
I think so.
Yeah. See, I wish I was like that. I mull.
Yeah.
I mull stuff over and I mull it over. I try I walk away.
I have a 2-hour commute each way from work.
You have enough time to mull.
That's my mull time, because you totally have to mull. Yeah, you can't.
2 hours. I hope you love your job.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sometimes I love the commute more.
Yeah. Are you showing anywhere?
I just started to show. So I connected with a framing shop up in Milford, New Hampshire. Yeah. And I also, and I'm showing pieces there, belong to the Leominster Art Association.
You remember, that's great.
Yeah, I just got awarded the Artist of the Month. So
congratulations! To put your piece in the window now.
Yeah, it's in the mayor's, right outside the mayor's office.
That's awesome.
And I just connected with Suzanne Schultz and CFA, and
they can be very helpful.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to working in getting something
You brought some pieces for us to see?
Sure.
Can we take a look at them, huh?
Okay, so this is...
look at this. Just getting into it, he says.
This is a scene that I pass every day on my way to work, going into work and going home. And it's a hill in Groton, Mass. And you can see that this motif repeats itself with these barns on top of a hill. And it's all conservation land around. And there's Mount Wachusett off in the distance. And I just...
That's beautiful.
I just kind of, you know, wanted to get in there and get that long
How big
view.
is this piece?
This piece here is 16 by 20. And probably the next piece would be, I'm not sure how these are arranged, but...
well, we can get the next piece up.
All right, so this is a painting that is my wife walking. We were all walking through the woods over to the ocean down in Plymouth where my brother and his wife live. So we were visiting for the day, and of course I always have my camera with me, and just always...
Do you always carry a point and shoot with you?
Yes.
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. Your wife knew what she was doing when she left the kid.
I won't leave the house without my camera. And so this was a very cloudy day, and I just kind of liked the mood that was happening there, you know, in the soft grasses. And this is back in Groton, and this Mount Wachusett off to the distance. I just finished this piece. So this piece is, you know, a long piece, and it was a photograph I took during the summer, and there was a sense of joy. I just wanted to try to capture that joy of the, you know, the grasses were out there blowing in the wind, and
no question
there were these flowers, and then that long, long view with Mount Wachusett in the distance, and something about the blue hills of New England.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful?
I just, you know, I love the New England landscape.
Yeah.
So. And then this is another time of day of those barns on the Groton Hill, right around twilight, and the sun is setting over behind the barns to the right.
Yeah.
And I just wanted that kind of sense of that, the light shining on the white buildings. I loved Edward Hopper and from the Cape, and I remember always, when I used to live on the Cape and I would see this house, I go, oh gosh, I recognize that. That's Edward Hopper painted that house. And so there's something about that. I'm always trying to get that sense of that light being splashed onto those New England houses. They just have this beautiful shape, and I think they're very symbolic. I'm not sure what they are, and a different time of day, different angle, but the same set of barns.
You like the subject, though?
Yeah, it's what's grabbing me right now, and I think I'm process out of that and move on to other motifs. But
that's great. Doug, do you ever see yourself going out there and setting up for a quick sketch and color?
Yes, this summer I plan to do it, yeah.
That's difficult, because the light is changing constantly.
Yeah, I used to do it years ago, so I understand, you have to work fast. And
well, that's great. It's fabulous. Great work. Do you know if you're going to be showing besides the mayor's office in Fitchburg?
Well, I hope to be.
If you're hooking up with Suzanne Schultz, there's going to be some beautiful places. You're going to love this stuff. The city of Boston's going to love it. Doug, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, and don't be a stranger. Make sure you tell Susan. Well, she'll know. She'll know that. Would love you to bring a piece in, live piece maybe sometime. I'd love to do that.
I'd love to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Doug,
thank you so much.
Do you have a website people can go to?
I do, yes.
What is it?
Well, it's pretty easy. dhcaves.com.
We'll link that up to our website so people can go to It's All About Arts. Just click on your name and go right to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug, for being here. I appreciate it. Listen, gang, don't go away. We'll be back in just a minute. Julia will be back up, and we'll close out the show. Listen, gang, don't go away. We'll be back in just a minute. We're coming to you live from Studio B. Thank you for hanging in there. We'll be right back.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
reality. I lost my soul to rock and roll, 'cause rock and roll will set you free. Hey, hey, rock and roll. Hey, hey, rock and roll. Hey, hey, rock and roll. Hey, hey, rock and When I look into your eyes, I can see your mother's smile. I can see the moon and stars up in the sky. I can see beyond the blue. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. And of course, we are back with the lovely Julia Perciasepe. Hello. I have to tell you that a couple of my kids at the Boys and Girls Orchard Gardens Club
Yeah.
said that they saw, hey, Glenn, we saw you on TV. Who was that pretty girl you were with? And I said, well, that's Julia Perciasepe, our co-host. It was very nice.
Are these the kids that are coming in?
These are the kids that are going to be coming in, right? Of course.
What can I do?
Testing. So that was a great show.
Yeah.
You know, I love
Great work.
landscape painting. I think it's great. And I love seeing artists who give us an idea of the process they go through.
Yeah, that was interesting.
You know, here's this little band, I'm going to add a couple of people. And sometimes I think, you know, they get to that end stage thing and it's great.
Yeah.
You know, I like that second one. It was really cool, you know. So.
Yeah.
It's a process. I know that you go through a similar process because you're a collagist. Is that the word?
Collagist? I like both of those.
You like both?
I'll take them.
So that drop-down menu that we're talking about, we'll have to add collagist.
Yes.
But you go through a similar thing where
Yeah.
sometimes you're borrowing from this one to pay this one and da-da-da-da-da. Are you working on anything in your studio? Is there anything coming up?
Not right now. No, I've been kind of too busy to kind of sit down and get my head in something, but I'd like to start something.
Do you have a
soon.
process when it's time for you to be doing something that you have to kind of, you know?
Yeah, I usually, you know, mull on it a little bit.
Yes, mulling is very important.
There's a lot of mulling. There's a lot of, you know, doing one little thing and then stepping away for a day and then coming back and, you know, seeing if I like it or not.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
Well, that's
yeah,
cool.
everybody has their own little thing.
Well, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, it's fun.
We'll get to Julia's World again next week.
Yes.
I hope. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
We'll be back up and running.
Back up and running. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. Thanks a lot for being, where are we? Okay. Thanks an awful lot for being here with us. If we could go here, that would be great. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. Julia and I appreciate you being on board with us. We have an awful lot of fun here. Listen, gang, get out, do something artful for yourself this weekend. Like we like to say every week, please keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please get out, do something for them. They'll dig it. We'll dig it. We'll see you later, okay?
Dig it.
Bye-bye now.